Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Backstage Spotlight. Today we are with Alicia. Hello.
Hello.
How are you doing?
I am all good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. I'm so happy I got you on because Alicia is currently in the midst of Panto, which is such a busy time. So this will come out on the 19th of Jan, but we're filming in December. So how busy are you?
Yeah, well, we're doing sort of 13, 14 show weeks, so lots of double show days, lots of three show days as well. So yeah, it's quite challenging, but we're making it through and it keeps us nice and festive. So
Incredible. Well, what a fun thing to do over Christmas.
yeah.
So, would you like to take us back to when you were little? Did you know that you wanted to be a performer? What was that first point in your childhood where you were like, "Oh, this could be a career"?
Well, honestly, like I didn't think about musical theatre or dance as a career until I was about 16. I didn't
Wow.
really know that it was possible for me. I didn't really know anything about it, to be honest. I yeah, I just did dancing for fun, and I think my parents knew that oh, she's good, but I come from Wolverhampton, and there was no tools or anything for me to go and do it as something that I could, you know, be do it in a professional capacity sort of
Yeah, for
thing.
sure.
So yeah, it was only when I went to sixth form, I went to a really, really good performing arts sixth form, and they were like, well, you should audition for drama school. I was like, what is a drama school?
Yeah,
So yeah, when I was a kid, I just did it for fun, really, and I just went to dance school because my sister went to dance school and I wanted to be like her. So yeah, it
nice.
was quite late on for me.
Yeah, that's quite common because obviously performing arts is a hobby at first. It starts out people just love it, and then it gets to the point where you're like, oh, this hobby could be a job. And I mean, it is a job for many, many people. And I feel like when you were little, that moment of realization, like you said when you were 16, it's quite, life changing because you can be like, oh, I can do what I love. Like I could do my hobby as a job, which is
Yeah,
great.
yeah, it's crazy.
So when you got to that age of auditioning, what kind of advice did you get, and what do you wish you had been told at that time of your life for viewers listening who want to go and audition?
I didn't really get that much advice at all, I don't think. I mean, my teachers at school were just um very relaxed about the whole thing, which was good because it sent you in with a sort of calm, cool vibe, which was nice. I think I just learned from going into those auditions and being like, oh, okay, I could have done that better, or you know, just learning from your mistakes, I guess. I wish that somebody would have told me that drama school is not this massive scary thing. It's a university at the end of the day. Well, in my case anyway. And it's not. I expected to walk into drama school and be like terrified and like see like red carpets through every corridor and like it be this big scary thing. But it's just training. And so auditioning for these places, it can feel like a really scary thing to do, but actually it's not that bad.
Yeah.
So yeah, I used to really struggle with my nerves, and I wish I would have just experienced what it's actually like being at drama school, because I don't think I would have been as nervous. It's made out to be a massive thing, you know?
Sure. And you're so, your mind is on getting a place and you
Hmm.
try and like think, oh, what do they want to see instead of being true to
Yeah.
yourself, and then that layer of nerves gets on top of you, and it's a whole vicious circle, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
What a
And then you're
time.
not going to audition as well,
Exactly that.
when
You
you're
do
so scared.
generally do better when you're more relaxed about the situation
Yeah.
because, tension and all of that, all of that.
Yeah, all of those good things.
So what was your situation when you found out that you got into college?
Oh my gosh, I was over the moon. I remember because I went to Bird. I
Yes.
remember Bird when I went to the audition. It was one of the ones where I actually felt really calm, and I felt like, this is the place that I'm meant to be. So yeah, I just bundled all of my belongings. My mum bought me like plates and cutlery and everything, and then just moved down to London and kind of just didn't know what to expect, and just wide-eyed, like being in London. I only visited London a couple of times when I was a kid, so yeah, that was a mad experience, but yeah,
Incredible.
loved it.
If
Mm.
you like looking back, if you could have like an essential, like I'm talking cutlery or like a kitchen utensil that you would recommend a new student to have, what would it be?
It would be a wok, a
Oh,
massive
what?
a massive
Yes,
frying pan for cooking on bulk. I used to cook
yes.
like four portions of one thing, and then the next day four portions of the next thing, and I would put it in the freezer. So then I would be able to like alternate and use it, because honestly, like I I don't know whether it is the same for you, but at Bird we would be in from 8 a.m. till 7 p.m. at night, and the last thing you want to do is
It's full
cook
on.
when you get back. So definitely a wok so you can cook in bulk, or a big saucepan, I guess.
Yeah, that's such a good idea. I've graduated and I still don't have a wok. I feel like
Oh, you must get a wok.
I must get one. I
Yeah.
must. But yeah, that's the thing. Like when you move away from home, not only are you in a new environment, you're training, you're meeting new people, you've got new teachers, you've got new goals, you've got new deadlines you need to meet. And then you have to do your washing, you have to cook your food, you have to change your bedding. Honestly, how like it baffles me that we get through it. Like
Yeah,
that is a lot.
massive lifestyle change. And nobody teaches you, how to cook, or like how you should separate your washing. I remember Googling, because my mum has always done my washing like growing up, Googling how to separate colours and darks, or like what can I wash with what, and do I
Yeah.
need a colour catcher? Oh my God.
And your
And you
housemate's
just
doing something different and you're like, well, what
and
do
you
I
have no idea.
do?
Yeah. So yeah, it's a massive learning curve, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. But
Funny to
what
think
a
about.
time. What a time.
Yeah.
So good. So your time at Bird, how was that? Did you have any key moments that jump out at you?
You know what? I just massively improved on my dancing when I went to Bird.
Wow.
And that was amazing. And because I can sing, I got a lot of opportunities to play roles and to, do like singing competitions and things. And yeah, they really pushed me in my way of singing. I would say my highlight would have been my third year show. We did Anything Goes, and it was just the dream. I was like playing this like crazy character role, and yeah, I just was able to do like everything, like showcase everything. And that's when I knew, I was like, right, well, this needs to work. This needs to happen. I need to get into this industry because this is bringing me so much joy performing. So yeah, that would have been the
So
highlight.
how did you navigate your graduating year in terms of agents?
So, I mean, I made a whole TikTok video about my agent experience during my third year. Um, I we get like, I think, four opportunities or something like that to perform to agents at Bird, and people were getting offers in like November, December, and I was just getting nothing. And like I said before, I was being showcased so much in all of these different things. I was getting so many opportunities, which I'm so grateful for, but I was just hearing nothing, 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 nothing. Like it was just like I spent basically the whole of my third year just like really upset and just thinking that it was never going to work. And then when we did Agent Showcase, which is kind of towards the end of the year, it's like, well, the school year, so probably April maybe.
Yeah.
I got the opportunity to go to a load of meetings, and it just all sort of clicked and it sort of happened. So I signed straight away.
It's fantastic.
Um, yeah, yeah, and I've been with my agent ever since. We have a lovely relationship. He's great.
It's really good. What would you say on the importance of a relationship with an agent being a two-way thing?
So I think a lot of people tend to have different types of relationship with their agent. Some people sort of WhatsApp their agent, they update them on their life and, all of the smaller things. And then some people have more like business relationships with their agent where it's kind of, here's your audition, see you later, hope it
Mm.
goes well. Oh, you've booked this job, whatever, however it's going to pan out. I would say my agent is like in between. It's a really good mix of business. I know that he will fight for me and get me what I would like, but also he really cares. And I think that balance really does matter.
Yeah.
Somebody who will fight for you and also just cares about you as a human being rather than a money making machine, you know?
Sure, yeah, that's
Um,
really nice.
yeah,
That's
so yeah,
nice.
I'd definitely say having a balance of the two is great.
Yeah. So when you get an audition through, what's your process of getting the material to actually going to the audition? What would you do to prepare?
Well, if it's like a first round and I'm bringing my own song,
Yeah.
um, so I would not recommend this to anybody. So completely ignore me. But I actually, if I'm in for like a role that's quite specific, which is normally my case, because I'm normally in for like, I don't know, the comedy side character or like something quite specific, um, I will actually learn a new song and sing it as that character
Wow.
if I've got the time. Obviously, if
Yeah.
I've got 2 days' notice, then I'll just be like, no. But I've found when I've done that and I've presented them exactly what I think they're looking for, it's gone well for me.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I'll try and find a song that's not from that show, but from a show that has a similar style, and I can take that song and sing it as the character that I'm in for.
Mm.
So yeah, probably learning a new song, and if I've got time, I will try and learn any sides or anything like that that I've been given. But I honestly don't put too much pressure on that anymore.
Mm.
I just think it's better to hold your iPad or the script or whatever and just be able to be calm and confident and not be like thinking about
Goliath.
what's going on. Yeah.
That's really interesting. So, for example, you've just finished Greece UK tour. Cast it back to those auditions. Could you like give us an example of like what that audition looked like for you?
So I didn't actually audition for Frenchie, which is hilarious. Um, so I did Greece West End the year before,
Yes, when it was
and
at the Dominion.
yeah, and I was actually auditioning for Patty,
Ah,
weirdly. And I went in and I sang Cooties from Hairspray, if
yes,
that makes sense. So I'm like,
yes,
I'm going in, I'm singing Cooties from Hairspray as Patty Simcox. So maybe a little bit sweeter, a bit nicer, but still the same vibe, if that makes
yeah, for
sense.
sure.
Yeah.
So then, how many rounds did you do until you got the job?
Oh, I mean, I'm sure you've asked this question to India. Hers was much shorter than mine.
Yeah, hers
I
was on the
think I
space of a
did.
week, I think.
Yeah, crazy. Mine was over the space of a month, I think. I
Yeah.
did I did like 5 different rounds, sometimes two in the same day or whatever,
Mm.
recalled on the day. But yeah, lots of dancing, lots of singing, lots of reading different material and stuff. But yeah, it was a long audition process actually.
A fun show though, like the music, the dancing, so high energy. Did you enjoy that side of it?
It is a classic, isn't it? And it's such a nice feeling when you're hearing everybody in the audience singing along,
Yeah.
especially like when we get to the mega mix, everybody just goes wild in the audience. Everyone's had a few drinks, and it's yeah, it's really fun show to be part of. And obviously you've got all the jiving and just all the classic songs and stuff. It's just, and also we're all playing high school kids, so it's it really creates that school family feel, and you feel
Yeah.
like a little kid again, and you're just playing on stage, messing about. Um, so yeah, I really enjoyed it. I'm so glad I
That's
got the
so
opportunity to do
nice.
it.
If you could be any other character in the show, what character would you be?
I would be Vince Fontaine.
Yes. Were you in it when Peter Andre was Vince?
I was, yeah,
Hilarious. That's when I saw
yeah. I
it.
mean, did you? He is outstanding, isn't
Yeah, yeah.
he?
So
And
good.
he's just such a lovely person as well. When you meet somebody like that who is so like worldwide well known,
Yeah.
it's like, oh my God, I don't know how to act around you. But he was like, oh, hi, I'm Pete. And I was like, whoa, that's crazy. Like, oh no. And he's so lovely, such a good sport, always up for a laugh, and really made an effort with us guys. So that was
So
lovely.
lovely. That's so nice to hear. What's your favorite number in the show? Like either to sing or to dance or any song?
I I wasn't in this, but I love Tattoo, which is like it's a song from the original Chicago production, which we have in our production, but it's all the boys and they're like thinking about what tattoo they're gonna get, and they're like "Ta-ta-ta-doo-doo," and it's really cool. And if I could be in any number, it would have been that. But for me to perform, it was definitely the jive. I
Yeah,
mean,
the
yeah, like
energy.
yeah, and it was so weird. Like Frenchie and Sonny go up against Chatter and Danny at the end of the jive. So it's like, let's go, French. Like,
For sure.
so yeah, that's so good. I had such a long jive and it was so challenging. And yeah, that was my fave.
Love it. If so obviously you did the West End and the UK tour. Which did you prefer?
Here we go. I think there's pros and cons to both.
Yeah,
Um, I was ensemble in the West End version. I
yeah,
covered Frenchy, but I was ensemble and then got bumped up to French. So it was a very different show for me going from being in the ensemble to being Frenchy and being in the Pink Ladies and just having that like, wearing the pink wig, and it
yeah,
just
so
felt very
cute.
special. And I loved playing Frenchie. Also, I really struggled being in the West End to find a balance of like lifestyle,
Yeah,
because I feel like when you're in the West End, it very easily becomes like a 9 to 5 sort of situation where everyone's coming to work and then you're going home after the show. You don't really do much socializing with your cast and stuff because everyone's got their homes to go to. Their friends who they live with or their other halves at home. And yeah, it just becomes in and out, in and out.
yeah,
Whereas tour life, I love the community aspect of it. You're all either living together, which can be tough sometimes also, but you are spending so much time together and you're going out for brunches because that's what's there to do in that city, or you're going and doing whatever there is.
yeah,
I'm trying to think of an example, but in each city there's something to do in that city, like specific to that city.
yeah,
And so that really does make like quality of life better, I guess.
for sure. Yeah.
But then you do spend a lot of money, so I couldn't really choose. I waffled on a little bit there.
No, it's
But
so good
I
to
like
hear.
both for different
Yeah.
reasons. Obviously, being in London, all of my friends are there, and I'm
Mm,
able to see them a lot more. But it's just so expensive.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Honestly, I've never like thought about it in that perspective before, but it's so interesting to hear your side to that. The next thing I
No,
wanted to
good.
ask is on tour, what was your favorite location? India said Dublin, I think.
Yeah, because we spent the 2 weeks there and
Yeah,
we were
and
put up in
she
these lovely
debuted
apartments.
Sandy, I think, there.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why she
Um,
did that.
I'd say my favorite tour venue is Edinburgh.
It's
Um,
such a nice city, isn't it?
yeah, and I did this like tour where there's like in Edinburgh. I don't know whether you're familiar with this, but there's like a underground city that used to be there. And
Oh,
you can do this tour. And you can go underneath, literally underneath the city, and there's this whole like world of like a whole other city that existed like
no
way, way,
way.
way back in the day.
I did
And
not
I
know
just
that.
love, yeah, I love Edinburgh anyway. It's just so pretty, all the cobbled streets, the castle, and
Mm,
it's beautiful there. And there's so many nice places to eat and shops, and yeah, it's just lovely there.
nice. So now you're heading straight into Pantoland.
Yeah,
How is
yeah.
that going?
I had one day off. So we finished Greece on the Saturday. Sunday off, which was spent like traveling back and forth to my mum and dad's house to like drop off all my things, like try and rearrange my suitcase because that had been on tour with me for 6 months.
Yeah.
And then straight into Panto.
Wow.
And we had like 4 days rehearsal and then we were into a producer's run. It was like, oh my gosh, I know on the Monday I didn't know a single line because I was getting over Grease ending and just sort of trying to lap that up while it lasted. And then I go into rehearsals and they're like, yeah, we got a producer's run on Friday. And I'm like, oh gosh. And like,
No.
I did Panto last year, But like my track this year is crazy. Like I barely leave the stage and I've got so many lines. So I was like, oh my God. But then somehow my brain did it and it worked
Wow.
out. And now we've done like 13 shows within the space of, yeah, like a week and a half open. So
It's mad, isn't it? The
yeah.
scale. It's actually insane.
Yeah. But
What
we get through it. We do
panto?
it for the joy.
Of course, of course. What panto are you doing?
I'm doing Robin Hood.
That's a fun
Um,
one.
yeah. It's a new script because I'm doing it for Imagine,
Yeah.
Imagine Theatre, the panto producers. It's a new script for them. They've never done it before, so it was really nice to get into some new material that's
Hmm.
never been acted before. So yeah, having a really wonderful time. I'm playing Maid Marian. She is
So
feisty
good.
and she like hangs around with the merry men and she's just a bit, yeah, a bit sassy, a bit fiery.
Love that.
And I'm in all of the gags, which you don't normally get to do as principal girl. Like I'm in like the ghost gag and like there's this haunted bedroom, like bed flipping gag, and I'm in it all, and it's just so lovely.
Yay, so good. What would
Yeah.
you say your best, like your top tip for learning lines is for you? Like, what's your technique?
Sorry, my headphones falling out here. I like to record me saying everyone else's lines and
And
leave
leaving the
gaps.
gap. Yes.
Leave the gap for myself to say the line. So I'm like saying it in my head and then I'm like coming in with the next line. And then
Yeah.
I'll just play that over and over again until I've got it. I'll do it with the script a few times and then I'll try and then see how far I can get and then keep going like that. Yeah, that's the only way really that works for me. I
Yeah,
know
it's
people
good.
do lots of different ways, don't they?
It's all well and good knowing your lines, but knowing the cues is probably the most important.
Exactly. So I used to just write all my lines in like my notes app or something, but then I realized I had no idea when I was coming in. So I'd be like no, that's your line, sorry. So yeah, definitely recording is a good way to picture in your head. But I also think you can't fully learn lines until you've got your blocking. So I'm a
Mm,
firm believer in going into rehearsals with a script in your hand, being able to make notes and like writing your blocking down while you're doing it. And then once it's set, you kind of have a pathway in your head. And I'm quite visual as well.
mm.
So yeah, that really helps.
Yeah, and also like it creates the story. So it kind of makes sense when your line would be anyway and what you'd say because you're literally like acting it out. So I agree that that definitely helps
Yeah.
a lot. So once Panto's finished, what would be like your dream show to land? Like dream job can be anything.
Well, I would love to do Matilda in town. I
Yes,
would
someone
love
else
that
said that the
so
other day.
much. Really?
Yeah, as one of the
Yeah,
adult ensemble.
I would love to be Swing. I've never auditioned before just because the timing hasn't worked out when I've been
Yeah.
auditioning. But yeah, I would love that so much. I love the show. My best mate at the minute is assistant dance captain on it, and yeah, she's just spectacular. I've seen her in it a couple of times now.
Incredible.
And yeah, it's just always been a show that like, I think the soundtrack's quite iconic, obviously the
So good.
film and everything.
Yes.
So yeah, I'd love to do that.
I feel
I'd
like
love to
you'd pull
get
off
just
I feel like you'd pull off
sorry,
Mrs. Wormwood.
listen. I would literally love to do Mrs. Wormwood. Oh my God, that would be the dream. I don't think maybe I'm old enough yet to
First
do it.
copper.
There we are. There we are. Yeah. Um, yeah, I would love to do that so much, but to be honest, I would just like a year in the West End doing anything.
Yeah.
Which is a big ask, but for me, I'm like saving for a mortgage and you know, I can have X amount of deposit, which I've been saving for the past God knows how many years, but it's the earnings.
Yeah.
And I think you only get really enough earnings if you're in a West End show and you
Mm.
can provide them with a rolling contract.
Yeah.
So that's a
It's that
very
stability, isn't
lame,
it?
yeah, that's a very lame explanation of why I want a year in the West End.
Well,
But thinking like logically about
sure.
what I want in my life, maybe outside of the industry,
Yeah.
that would be the way. So yeah,
Well,
fingers
at the
crossed.
end of the day, every performer is a human being and they need to provide for themselves and their families. Like, it's a job. It's literally like going into an office. You have to think about your mortgage. You have to think about your savings, your finances, because at the end of the day, like, that is why you're doing it, to provide. And it is fun and everything. And we're lucky that it's an industry that is so accommodating. Like, you're basically doing your hobby as a job, as I said at the beginning. But the bottom line comes down to, like, can I afford food after this? Like,
Exactly, cause he lives. What to do?
I know.
But yeah, it is a passion project being in this industry. We're not really in it to make lots and lots of money, but we still have to think about, oh, like when am I gonna actually own my own place, or when am I gonna be able to provide for like children or anything like that? It's like, oh my God. So yeah, I
Scary,
think
isn't it?
just a long contract would be amazing.
Agreed. So with it being like a passion, musical theatre, when you start training and stuff, you kind of lose that time from your hobby becoming your career. So
Mhm.
how did you fill that void of, now that this is your work, what do you do in your spare time?
Oh my goodness, I am a hobby girl, a cozy hobby girl. That is
Yes.
me through and through. I love reading,
Yes.
especially thrillers. I love
Any book
reading so much.
recommendations?
Oh, I mean, classic Verity by Colleen Hoover.
Have you
Any,
read The Housemaid?
yes,
So good.
so good. Anything by Frida McFadden.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lisa Jewell is also very good.
Yes, I've just started
So yeah.
reading The Night She Disappeared.
Yep, it's a
Have you read that
classic.
one?
It's
Yeah.
so good. Yeah.
I feel like
Also,
we've got similar, we feel like we've got similar book taste.
if anybody is into audiobooks, you have to listen to We Play Games. I
Oh,
can't remember who it's by now, but it's like so good, and it's made to be an audiobook. It's not, but like it's got so many actors in it and it's like
nice.
fantastic. Would recommend. But I also crochet and I knit,
Stop
and
it. This is literally me.
yeah, I make jumpers and all my own clothes, and I
Oh my
I
goodness, I
love it
love
so
that.
much. I love arts and crafts. I literally made like a Christmas gonk the other day, like
No,
like
stop
sew
it.
your own gonk.
I need to
Um,
show you my gonk photo, because this is literally exactly what I've done. I've like knitted some gonks. I've done like little crochet animals.
oh my gosh!
This is a hedgehog I did.
Yay! Oh, there we go. Oh my God,
So
that's so
cute.
cute.
And then I've done an llama. Hang on, let me turn my brightness down. For everyone listening, come on the YouTube version and you'll see what we're doing. That's my
Oh,
llama.
so cute.
I do mostly animals. I've done like a little sheep.
Oh, sweet.
I don't know when
That's
my
so
dog's
funny that
going.
you do it as
I
well.
know. I literally feel like I'm talking into a mirror. Hobbies, reading, crochet, knitting, done.
Yeah, that's so
So funny.
funny.
It's so good
Um,
though to be creative in that capacity, whilst like also liking the performance side of it. And I feel like as people in the musical theatre industry, I mean, I'm saying that, but I don't do musical theatre. I do this. Um, you need that outlet of creativity on like another level. And I feel
yeah.
like that's the way you get it through arts and crafts.
Let me just show you my elephant that I made.
Oh
Look
my
at him.
goodness.
Oh, hang on. Where's the camera? There we go.
Oh,
How
so
cute.
cute. Stop it, because
We're
I
literally
made
the
such,
same.
we are.
That's
I made such
crazy.
a similar elephant. I need to show you.
It's probably the same pattern.
It probably is. Where is it? Oh my goodness. It's literally like the exact same pattern.
Hilarious. Oh, so cute.
And I've done a little
That's
dinosaur.
oh my God, you've done loads.
I know. Panda,
You put
that's
me
one of
to
my
shame.
favorites.
Oh, sweet. So
Honestly.
cute.
Giraffe.
The list goes on.
The list goes on. I mean, that's a whole different
Oh,
podcast. But
that's
there we go.
amazing.
And before we run out of time, the last question I always ask my guests, is if you could nominate someone to come on, obviously India nominated you, to come on next, who would it be? And I'll try and get them on.
It would be one of my best friends, Rue Fisher.
Yes, I've seen Rufus all
They
over my Instagram.
they are changing the industry day by day. They
Yeah.
are currently going into rehearsals for Kinky Boots, playing one of the angels, and they are giving non-binary finery realness. And yeah, they're just amazing, and they're a champion for everybody who identifies as trans, like any sort of any sort of gender. And yeah, they are really, really changing the industry. So
Really excited.
100% get them on.
For sure. So you message Rue and I will reach out to them too, and then we'll try and organise something.
No worries.
Great. Well, listen, it's been so nice to have you on. So thank you for joining me, even though you're very busy with Panto. I do appreciate
That's
it.
okay. No worries.
We'll reach out to Rue and see everybody next week. Take care and goodbye.
Thank you so much for having me.
Bye.
Bye.